Hey guys, back with another video, and today we're going to be reacting to Story Booth. Okay, wait, I need to go on their channel. Okay guys, I'm back. I'm on their channel now. So yeah. So first one I'm going to be reacting to is Creepy Sleepover with my person baby brother. Possessed baby brother. Sorry, I can't read that.
My best friend, who we'll call Kayla, wanted me and our other friend, who we'll call Lily, to come over for a sleepover. One of the things we did was watch a bunch of nursery rhymes for kids. I don't know why, but we were watching them anyway. One of them was about a mother cat and her kittens, and the kittens had done something naughty, and the mother cat goes, "Meow, meow, 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 you shall have no pie." And Kayla stops and she goes, "Danny roams the house till like 3 a.m. singing, meow, 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 you shall have no pie." And Lily and I look at each other like, that's creepy. Because Kayla's little brother, Danny, is adorable, not creepy at all. So for him to be singing a song at 3 a.m. in the morning is kind of weird. So we decided to make alternate versions of what he was singing. Like, what if he's saying, meow, 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 I just found the knife? Or what if he's singing, meow, 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 be prepared to die? It's morbid, I know, but I guess it was fun to scare each other. Anyways, it was much, much later. Kayla had been asleep, leaving Lily and I to talk. So it's 2 a.m. and we are talking about ghosts and things like that. And then we look across the hall where Danny's room is. And it has a baby gate in the doorway, which was open. And we both noticed that at the same time. And Lily goes, "I'm going to shut that." So she goes over and she shuts and she locks the baby gate. She came back in and we talked for about 10 more minutes. Then we hear 2 sobs come from the end of the hall. And then a couple seconds of silence. And Lily and I look at each other like, what? And then we hear the sound of Danny getting up and walking to the baby gate. And we hear him laughing. It's weird for a 2-year-old to be laughing at nothing at 2 a.m. in the morning. We're a bit scared when we hear this smash and Lily throws the rug over her head. And I look, Danny has thrown the baby gate that was locked and shut. He's thrown it open with such force that it smashed against the wall. And he just walks out. And I flop onto the bed and pretend to be asleep, even though I'm still watching him. And I watch as he looks around and then starts coming towards the room we are in. And Lily and I were both pretending to be asleep and we're just like, oh my God, this baby is possessed. How did he do that? So he comes in and he just goes to Lily and he just lays down with her. And we talked for another hour, keeping Danny awake to make sure he was not possessed. And then when it was time to go to sleep, Danny decided he wanted to sleep with me. So I had to sleep with a maybe possessed 2-year-old for the rest of the night.
Yeah, the second I saw that, I was like, I'm out. The second I saw that. Yeah, I would go like, okay, guys. The next, okay, so that was Creepy Sleepover with a, I don't know, but, okay, the next one we're going to be reacting to is, I don't like my parents because they don't accept who I am. But if my parents didn't accept who I am...
New challenge. Try to bend every finger without your pinky. It's actually kind of difficult.
I never really liked my parents. We butted heads on everything, from political to religious beliefs. I consider myself an atheist and very liberal, and I am also unapologetically gay. My parents are rather conservative Muslims and are also extremely homophobic. I never was really public about my disagreements with them, because I still wanted a roof over my head, food on the table, and money in my pocket. Because of that, I was able to forge a good but very artificial relationship with my parents. They saw me as practically perfect, a good and trusting kid. Both of my parents had very noticeable flaws, however. My mom liked to hold grudges, was quick to judge, and loved to enforce gender roles. My mom adamantly believed that boys were supposed to do yard work and take out the trash, and that girls only belonged in the kitchen and were predestined to become subservient Muslim housewives. My father was so invested in his work that he neglected to form any bonds with his children. They would constantly belittle my 4 sisters by not allowing them to have friends outside of school, have phones, participate in extracurricular activities, nor drive when they reached the legal age of 16. And then there's me. A couple years ago, I tried coming out to them, not once, but twice. The first time, they begged me to date girls because they took my coming out as a threat. The second time, it proceeded to fire a barrage of insults and false homophobic stereotypes about gay people, ranging from them being mentally ill to calling it a phase or choice. They threatened to completely disown me and assured that I won't succeed in life if I didn't quote-unquote fix myself. A fog of depression consumed me, and could only see myself being forever indebted to my parents, so I had to continue the facade of the straight Muslim boy in the house. I didn't think much of it at the time, but after telling my friends, they convinced me I was in a nearly abusive relationship with my family, and I had to get far away from them to live my life and discover my full potential. It was at this moment that I took a much harsher stance against my parents, seeing them as my prison wardens instead of my loved ones. So I thought, where was the farthest I could get without them having a harsh impact on me, while I could still be successful and thrive as a young gay? After doing some research, I could finally conclude that California would be the best place for me. A thriving LGBT community, lots of racial diversity and acceptance, and on the complete opposite side of the country. So I applied to a few schools there in hopes I would get accepted, and sure enough, I did get into one of them, UCLA. It truly was one of the greatest moments of my life. I felt like a livable future was finally plausible. My parents were hesitant at first because of the distance, but happy to have me go, because they trusted I could succeed at a highly acclaimed school in Los Angeles. After moving there, I have never been happier to be part of a diverse community with amazing friends, support, and education. Although I have to come home every now and then to keep up my fake relationship, I am so relieved to be so strongly dissociated from that sinkhole I once called home. My next hope is that my sisters see and believe the truth about my parents and follow my footsteps and escape, so that they could live happy lives too.
Well, I would not like this game.
Oh my god, we totally jumped off the cliff and had to zoom all the way to shore because the dog chased us all the way again.
1, 2, 4. So next one we'll be reacting to is I lost my friend because I don't play sports.
How safe is your lighter? Safety standards require a lighter to extinguish within 2.
This story has been sponsored by the Art Institutes.
When I was younger, I had a lot of friends, and after school, we would hang out all the time and do a ton of really cool and fun stuff, like go explore the woods and ding-dong ditch people. It was a lot of fun. But when middle school came around, they all started doing a ton of sports and got really, really crazy about it. And I just really hated sports. And so, slowly, they just stopped hanging out with me. And every time I tried hanging out, they would all have sports to do. And in school, they would only be talking about sports at lunch and stuff. And I could never add to the conversation. And so I just started, on the weekends not hanging out or doing anything because they could never hang out. So I just started playing a ton of Xbox. It got so bad that while I was in school, they would barely even talk to me or say hi in the hallways because they were so occupied with sports, we kind of stopped being friends. One time, I tried inviting them all over for a sleepover so we could have fun again. But they said they couldn't because they all had practice. And then later that night, I saw some post of them hanging out on Instagram. So I guess they just didn't want to hang out with me anymore. So my best friends that I had for my whole life were like nobody anymore. And they just completely forgot about me. I felt completely ignored and so alone. I didn't fit into anything, and I started to feel really bad about myself. I started staying home more and more on the weekends and after school, because none of my friends wanted to hang out, because they all just kind of forgot about me to do sports. And so I started watching a lot of YouTube, and I started watching a ton of channels that did really cool film stuff and animation and really cool stuff like that. One day I was really bored, so I got the webcam on my computer and started making stop motions which is a really cool way of animating with pictures. And I also started doing like live action film stuff by myself in my house. And I started to really like it, and I kind of got good at them. Sometimes I would show my parents them, and they said they were pretty cool and stuff. So my mom signed me up for this program for like film, and I went to it, and it was really awesome because you got to use like really like high quality equipment and really learn about film and get in depth with it, and it was really cool. And there were also a lot of really nice kids there that I became friends with that were all into film. My favorite part is directing the movies we make there, and I feel like I finally found what I'd love to do. Things haven't changed much for me at school because most of the kids only love sports. Even though I miss my old friends, I'm really glad that I found my passion, something that I really love doing all the time, and I'm really happy now.
We want to thank the Art Institutes for sponsoring this story and supporting our creativity to animate your stories. So how many of you story boothers are super creative? Maybe you like to make movies, or cook, or design interiors, or animate just like we do. We want all of you out there who have a creative passion to pursue it, and that's why we're so excited about the Art Institutes. The Art Institutes offers courses that can help you pursue your creativity and passion. There are so many different courses to choose from fashion to gaming to visual design and media arts. There are endless options for igniting your creative spark. You can take courses either online or on campuses.
So that was the next. Okay, this is our last video until it's the end. Also, go subscribe to this guy. This is the one that showed me Story Booth. Fully YouTube. Making yourself burritos?
No! I'm making chicken and waffles.
I know you're making burritos, but we're about to make chorizo.
My mom is Japanese and my dad is white. When they married, they made a pact that they would one day let their future kids experience Japan in some way. And that's exactly how I ended up moving to Japan and living there from when I was 4 until I was 7 years old. For anyone that's ever had to move, you know how scary it can be. And when you're only 4 and going to a completely different country with a completely different language and completely different people, it's terrifying. From the get-go, I was thrown into school, and honestly, despite everything, I thought it wasn't as bad as I expected. Since I was so young, I picked up on Japanese quick, and I made a lot of friends. Everything was going great. One day I was leaving the classroom to go to recess, and in the hallway window, there was a classmate outside knocking on the window, chanting at me, singing, Yaseppochi no gaikokujin, which in Japanese basically means skinny foreigner. I didn't really think about it too much. And this started to happen every day, however, and day after day she was there at the window chanting, Yaseppochi no gaikokujin, Yaseppochi no gaikokujin. She stood there at the window with a super unsettling smile. It was honestly super sinister, like something out of a horror movie. I mean, if you just added a knife in there, it probably could have been a box office hit. Eventually, it really started to get to me and agonize me. This was the first moment I think I started to realize I wasn't like everyone else, and it made me feel out of place, like I was some sort of alien. Obviously, I didn't care about her calling me skinny. I think I was 7 at the time. You know, I wasn't really hitting the gym. It was just the fact that she had the audacity to call me a foreigner. I was no longer like all my other classmates, and I imagined myself as this white, pasty kid. I did what I knew I should, and I told my teacher what was happening, and then he went on to set aside time in class one day and tell everyone that I wasn't any different and that I wasn't to be called a foreigner. The girl never got in trouble, though, because she denied ever doing it, and I guess they couldn't do anything about it because of that. Yeah, that kind of sucked. If we're being honest, I think she was low-key the devil in disguise. Aside from that, though, it was awesome to have the support of my teacher, and to understand that even though I might not have the same background as everyone else, it didn't make me any less of a person.
I'm fine.
From then on, I've had countless experiences of being categorized as a foreigner, but thanks to what happened in Japan, I've been able to feel more comfortable in my skin. Upon moving back to the US, things ended up crossing over. I got made fun of for being Asian. But you know, guys, the moral of the story is that no matter what ethnicity you are or where you come from, just understand that you're unique, and you should treat everyone the way you want to be treated yourself. I know that's cliche, okay, but it's cliche because it's true.
Okay, guys, that was the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Also, go subscribe to whatever his name is. I don't remember. But bye. Yeah. I didn't end the stream.